Hi users, welcome to my channel Learning with Khatak. In this short tutorial, we want to show that if a user entered a string value inside the program from the keyboard, and we want to find out that how many uppercase letter, lowercase letter, special characters, and numeric values are there inside the string value. As we know that. A user can input integer value, character value, or uppercase letters or lowercase alphabets from the keyboard. At the same time, a user can also input a string value. As we know that a string is basically a combination of alphabets or a combination of characters. If you look at this, this is a string which consists of multiple characters. Uh, so, if we input this type of character, or we give input as a string, and we want to know that, and we want to show that how many uppercase letters are there inside the string, and how many lowercase letters inside the string, and how many digits are there inside the string, and how many numeric values inside the string. So, if we look at this, then W is the uppercase letter. Similarly, if you look at the P of programming is also a capital letter, uppercase letter, and C of C++ is also in uppercase letter. In the same way, if you look at the starting character, that is a special symbols, hash symbol, and then alpha is also special symbols, and then plus is also a special symbols. In the same way, if we look at the digital values or numeric values, so 0 and 1, and then 2, 0, 2, 3 are the digital value or numeric values. So what would be the logic to find out how many uppercase letters, lowercase letters, special symbols, and numeric values for this? So let's start. How many variables we need for this program? If you look at this, obviously we want to find out uppercase letter, lowercase letter, special symbols, and numeric values. So obviously we will require 4 types of variable, that is and upper, lower, and numbers, and then special symbols. And we also initialize all these values, all these variables with the 0, because initially they have nothing inside them. So we will use a for loop because this is a string, and we will use a for loop to start reading from the initial start character to the end character. So for this I use a loop counter variable, that is int I is equal to 0, and then I is less my string dot length. So length is a built-in function of my string. My string is basically the string variable I have declared of string class. So length is a built-in function of my string which will return the length of the string, that how many characters are there inside the string. So the loop will continue from the starting character 0 and will execute again and again until it reach to the length of the string, that is reach to the end of the string, and then at every iteration the loop will be incremented by 1. So for the for case, I want to find out the uppercase letter. So if you look at this, I simply using if condition statement, that if my string I, so means my string then start from the I is equal to 0 from 0, and compare the starting locations, character at the starting location in my string with A. If it is greater or equal to A and my string I is less than or equal to Z, then upper plus plus. Upper is the variable which initially contains 0 value. So what does it mean? That the loop will be continuous start execution from the starting value, that is hash symbol. For the first iteration, it will compare the hash symbol with A. Since the condition is false, then again so since this is not an uppercase letter, then what is this? For another thing, we look at this. For the lowercase letter, same, else if my string of I is greater or equal to small a and less or equal to small z. If yes, then increase lowercase, and similarly if we want to the number, and then the last thing is special. So how this loop will be continued? If we look at the string, the starting character at ending 0, there is a character hash symbol. So what will happen? Control will come to here. In this case, the loop condition will be checked. 0 is less than maximum length. Let's suppose we say that maximum length is 26. So 0 is less than 26. Yes, condition is true. Then come to the loop body. So my string I position, now point out to the position 0. So at position 0 in my string, there is a hash symbol. So hash symbol, the condition will check that greater or equal to a and less or equal to z. Since the this is the condition, so this condition is false, then control will come to the else portion. Because this is not a lowercase letter, this condition is also false, and similarly this is not number, the condition is also false. If it is not an uppercase letter, not neither a lowercase letter and nor a number, then obviously if this is not a uppercase letter, lowercase letter and a number, then obviously it must be a special symbol. So in this case, special symbol will be incremented by 1. So after the first iteration, control come to here. So I plus plus. Now I will point out to the second character. So here in this case, this is W. So my string I means W is greater or equal to A. Yes, this condition is true. And my string I W is less or equal to Z, and this condition is also true. So in this case, upper plus plus, the value of upper will be incremented by 1. So uppercase, one special symbol is encountered, another is W, which is an uppercase letter. So all rest of the condition will become false. And then, so since if condition is true, then rest of the statement will not be executed, and control come to here, and then I incremented by 1. So in this case, now I will point out to the location number 2, which contains E. So here my string I, which now in this time point to the location which contains E. So E is greater or equal to A, because E is a not an uppercase letter. So if condition becomes false, and control come to the next line where E is greater or equal to A, condition is true, and E is less or equal to Z, condition is true. Since this condition is true, then lower will be incremented by 1. So the loop will continuously like in that way up until the end of the string, and in each iteration either upper will be incremented by 1 or lowercase will be incremented by 1, or number will be incremented by 1, or specials will be incremented by 1. At the end of the loop, when the loop terminated, we want to show that uppercase letter in the string simply display upper, and then lowercase letter in the string simply display lower, and then number, and then special symbol. So if we run this program, if you look at this, now uppercase letter in the string 3, lowercase letter in the string 20, number in the string 6, and special character in the string 6. So if in the program, in the coding, if you look at the string and then calculate all these things, you will come to know that our program exactly show how many numbers are uppercase in the string, and how many lowercase letter in the string, and how many numbers in the string, and how many special character in the string. So this is a very short tutorial which basically show that if a user input a string and we want to show that how many uppercase letter, lowercase letter, special symbols or number inside the string, then this program will simply display the number or the frequency of the special of the characters, and so on. So thank you very much for being with us. And one thing more, the code of this video will be pasted inside the comment, in the first comment. Thank you very much.